just about the next 4 years, it's about the next 40 years. And whether we are going to step up and build a better future for everyone, for Indigenous Canadians, for young families, for seniors, for students, build stronger communities, invest in infrastructure. A fellow who admitted that he'd always voted conservative. He was a small business owner. He just voted for fiscal conservative his whole life. And yet this election, something changed. And what changed was he looked at his 13-year-old daughter and he decided that he needed to give her his vote. Because this election, more than just about any other, the child benefit for the first year of life. Yes. That's right. You in the Moose Santa t-shirt, you get that. We know that a progressive government understands that the greatest challenge of our time is the fight against climate change. And that is what we are going to do more of. Over the past 4 years, we put in place the most ambitious and concrete climate plan Canada has ever had. We put a price on pollution right across the country. We built a world-class oceans protection plan. When we came into how to continue and realizes that the pension she gets is about to be slashed as well. A progressive government looks at that and says, we will help you. We will give you the help you need. That's what a progressive government does. A progressive government looks at our students, our young people who know that you need to get a good education if you're going to get a good job, but are reeling from the high cost of tuition and the challenges on top of more grants and more help for families. And we look at families who are increasingly challenged to make ends meet, who want to give every opportunity to their kids to grow up healthy and strong with the kinds of experiences and activities that matter so much to kids growing up. And we gave them the Canada Child Benefit, and we increased the Canada Child, standing up for the LGBT community, because we know defending Canadians' rights is just what we do as Canadians. But now we're in 2019. And Andrew Scheer wants to bring forward a plan. Well, I mean, you think about it, and you sort of understand why he waited so long before sharing his platform. He waited until late in the campaign, after the debates, until the Friday night of a long weekend when he was hoping nobody would notice that the only 3 things in his platform were cuts, cuts, cuts. Shame on him. Wait, that's not entirely fair, because there were a few tax breaks for the wealthiest in there too. Yeah. You can always count on conservatives for that. But more than that, $53 billion worth of cuts to services, to programs that Canadians have learned to rely on. And he has promised that his very first day as Prime Minister, he would rip up the only real plan to fight climate change that Canada has ever had. You know and I know that we need to protect our environment and fight climate change, that it's not a choice between growing the economy and protecting the environment. Indeed, you cannot, in 2019, have a plan for the future of our economy and not have a plan for protecting the environment. That's what they don't understand. So we have a choice come Monday. Do we continue to move forward with a progressive, ambitious, liberal government, or do we go back to conservative cuts? But you understand that in fighting for the environment, Conservatives just don't get it, but it's not just Andrew Scheer. It's conservative premiers right across the country who are fighting it using your taxpayer dollars in court. They are fighting the future for our kids when they fight against climate change. We know we need to do more, and that's exactly what we are planning to do. That's why we need a strong federal government to stand up to those premiers, to stand up to the conservatives who want to do anything. And I know we can count on Winnipegans and Manitobans for that. On parle souvent de vouloir un gouvernement progressiste. Mais on ne parle pas souvent de ce que ça veut dire, un gouvernement progressiste. Un gouvernement progressiste, c'est un gouvernement qui va être là pour protéger les droits. It's the one that looks at an elderly widow who just lost her partner of 50 years. And families get more money back because of our climate incentive. We demonstrated what can happen when an ambitious government rolls up its sleeves and gets to work with and for Canadians. We did big things over these past 4 years, and one of the big ones is, of course, moving forward meaningfully on reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. I want to recognize that we, of course, know there is so much more to do. But the work we've done here in Manitoba with the Métis Nation across the country, with First Nations, has been significant steps forward. We have the lowest unemployment in 40 years. And we did that because we invested in opportunities for Canadians and because we were able to lift 900,000 people out of poverty.
لا تنسى الإعجاب والاشتراك في القناة.